Oh, good. Cool. So good afternoon again. So welcome to the briefing for our Form 1 SAW. My name is Osbert. I'm from High Ground. I'm the head of experiential learning and partnerships. Together with me, with school vice principal, Mr. Hong, and and also other PICs are here as well together with us. So today we are hoping to give you an overview of what the students are going to experience during the SAW. I know that this is the very first experiential learning experience for your students, your kids in St. Paul's. It's going to be exciting. At the same time, we are going to talk to you about the programs, what the students are actually doing, what safety, what equipment, logistics, everything. We'll try to cover as much as possible. Towards the end of the briefing, we will be allowing some time for answering some Q&A. As you all know, I think on the chat room, if you click onto it, there is a link to a Google form or Google question form. So throughout the meeting or throughout the briefing, try your best to, if you need to jot down some keynotes if you want to, or if you have got any questions, feel free to put it down. Towards the end of the briefing, we will be spending a little bit of time to answer most of the questions. Don't worry about recording or doing anything like jotting down a lot of notes. We will also be recording the whole briefing. And I believe the experiential learning office from the school will be sending through the PowerPoint after this briefing, as well as the recording of this briefing as well. So shall we kick start and start going? Awesome. So today we're going to go through quite a bit of things, a bit of overview, and then talk to you about the learning objectives, the experiences, what are the four main activities the students are going to experience, some of the logistics, when and where students should be meeting every day, every morning, and where they will be dismissed towards the end of the day as well. Meal arrangements, some equipment and packing guidelines. I will be sharing with you some photos and pictures and maybe to give you a bit of advice where you can get it. And then some other extra reminders towards the end as well. So once again, Student Activities Week, this is the program we call the Outdoor Education Program, which is organized by High Ground and also St. Paul's. We have a very close working relationship over the years. As you might know, when students go to Form 3, 2 years later, actually, a lot of your kids will be going to Australia for a 1-month outdoor education experience, which is also organized by Higher Ground. So this year, we continue to work with St. Paul's so that we create an experience for, the Form 1 students so that they can at least have a taste of how outdoor experience would be, so that when they get to Form 3 in 2 years' time, they won't be too overwhelmed. So they will already get an idea of what outdoor experience would be, and they can kind of prepare or see how they like it or to prepare a bit more for the future. Talking about the program, it is an 8-day duration. However, for the students or for each of the students, they are only attending 4 days out of the 8 days. So it lasts from Sunday to Sunday. So some of the students, they might be starting on the 16th of November, which is the Sunday, and then having Monday as well. And then they will have a little bit of break, and then another 2 days program. And then they can also break for the weekend until they start the lesson on the next week again. Same for the other batches. So a bit of breakdown. I'm not sure if the school has already assigned or informed you about batch A or batch B, but I believe the school has already assigned and allocated students into batch A or batch B. So if not yet known, you will eventually know which batch your students or your kids will be assigned to. So if your kids are assigned to batch A, it will be on the 16th, 17th, and then 20th and 21st of November. And if your kids are allocated to batch B, it will be the 18th, 19th, 22nd, 23rd of November. So yeah, let's carry on. As I said, it is a 4-day for each of you carousel of outdoor adventures. So basically, each of the students or each of you will be experiencing 4 main activities or main theme. Or first of all, you will be having a hiking experience, and then another day it will be a kayaking experience, and then the third day you will be a gorge walking, and then there'll be another day that you will do a bit of orienteering or to learn a little bit basics of bushcrafts or leave no trace. I'll talk a bit more about each of them in a bit. So you'll be exploring the nature. Some of you might have been there, but I believe not every one of you might have been all these areas. So Hong Kong nature is really, really beautiful. It's 70% of Hong Kong land is actually country park. It's really, really amazing. Cycle, all right, and then Tai Mei Tuk. We're gonna go to Aberdeen for a little while, as well as we're gonna visit Ma On Shan as well. One of the main objectives is actually for the former students, this is your first year joining St. Paul's. And what we hope to do is to bring you, like provide you with this platform so that not only do you learn or interact with the students in your class, as well as inside a classroom setting, what we really, really hope is for you or for your kids to start learning, to know new friends from other groups or other teachers, other group mates, and then as well as interacting with peers from the different classes as well. Yeah. When we design the program, there are 3 key elements that we pay very, very much attention to. The first one is safety. All right. When we're developing the program with the school, the first core element is the safety of the program. So we value that the most. Without having the program being safe, we will not be carrying on the rest of the program to make it engaging or educational for the kids. So I'll touch base on a few other things about instructor ratio, about the equipment, some safety equipment that we'll be using, on some of the activities, how we manage the ratio, how we manage the kids, so on and so forth. Secondly, we know that the kids would like to have some fun and engaging experience. So we're gonna try to make it as fun and as engaging as possible. And last but not least, we hope to make it a bit more inspiring. It's not only about teaching or letting the students to learn about kayaking, how to do the hard skills, or learn, a bit more about hiking. It's more about through these outdoor experiences, they learn a bit more about themselves, what they're capable of, their comfort zones, how to step out of their comfort zones, or the level of challenge that they can use, or a bit of teamwork as well, how they support each other throughout the hike, throughout the gorge walking, how they pair up and doing some kayaking as well. So all these little bits is something that when we're designing the program, we hope the students can really work together and learn not only the hard skills, but a bit more about themselves, about others, as well as about the nature as well. That's good. Let's carry on. Some key objectives: self-reliance, communicators, problem solving, courageous. These are some big words. These are some the student profile that I believe the students might be quite familiar with when they first join St. Paul's, talking about the SPCC student profile. These are the 4 main ones that align closely with what High Ground is doing with the program with the students. Hopefully throughout the 4 days of experience, the students can develop a little bit on each area, or to find out what their strength is or the weakness is for the moment, and then to start the journey in St. Paul's in a good way. All right, so get to a more informative bit. So this bit is about the actual itinerary for the students. So we'll focus more on batch A first, and then the next slide we'll talk about the students who are allocated to batch B, the first batch and the second batch. So remember, if I was saying for batch A students, actually your students will be starting the program on a Sunday. So the Sunday will be the first day that you are doing. and depending on which group you are in. For example, if you are in group 1, right? If you are someone from group 1, first day, you will be doing kayaking. Second day, on Monday, which is 17th, it will be orienteering for you. Tuesday and Wednesday, give you a bit of break, a little bit of rest days. Thursday and Friday, it will be hiking and then gorge respectively. And then after that, it will also be a rest for you as well. For the rest days, you do not need to come back to school. It's actually really a rest days for you. After all these 4 days of experience is really, I would say it's quite tiring. But at the same time, students would try to get used to it day by day as well. So, yeah, I'm gonna move on. If your students are allocated into batch B or one of the groups in batch B, for example, if your kid is in group 10, then Sunday and Monday, you won't be starting the program yet. So you have a little bit of longer weekend before the program starts. The first day that you need to attend or the first day that you need to get ready for the program is the Tuesday, which is the 18th. So if you're group 10 students, 18th will be your day 1, which will be doing kayaking. And then 19th, hiking, and then 2 days rest, and then gorge walking on the Saturday, and Sunday, the orienteering as well. I believe there is an extra holiday after.
Yeah.
Yep. So don't worry about like having a Sunday finishing the program and then next day you have to go to school. I believe if you're referring to the school schedule and school calendar, actually the Monday following the SAW is actually an extra day off or actual off day for the students as well. So you can still have a bit of rest before you carry on with the school academics back to the classroom again. So I hope this will provide you a good overview of what's going on or what the itinerary would be. I can see someone is raising their hand. If you don't mind, I'm gonna wait until the end to answer most of the questions. There is a chat box underneath where you should be able to find a link for raising a question. So if you click that chat box, parents who might have joined late earlier, I repeat one more time. So you can click to that Google Form link, then you'll be able to send in some questions, and then our teachers and myself will be looking at it towards the end of this briefing, and we'll try to answer it, consolidate the question and answer it as much as possible. But bear with me. Thank you very much. And I will carry on for now. So talking about assembly and dismissal arrangements. So this part is very important, and I do hope parents, if you can keep a close eye on where exactly the students will be meeting for each day, because this is very important. Previous years, 1 or 2 students usually in a year, they might have overlooked at where they are doing the activity on that day. And then, so for that reason, they might have been to a wrong or inaccurate assembly location for that day of the adventure. So depending on what activity you are doing or your kids are doing on that day, there will be a slightly different assembly location. So for example, if that day you are doing orienteering, the program area is actually in Aberdeen Country Park. So what we'll be doing is at 8:15, 8:15, that's the assembly time for the students doing orienteering on that day. And then you'll be meeting everyone, meeting your teachers, doing roll calls, as well as your instructors at the Central Pier, number 9. Central Pier number 9. So there's like an open area there where students will be gathering there. And then you'll be dismissed at 4:30, and then also from Central Pier number 9 as well. So for gorge walking, the second one, if that day you're doing gorge walking, your kids will actually be going to the Sai Kung Country Park area. Assembly time is 8 o'clock, and then you'll be meeting everyone at Diamond Hill exit C2. So when we say exit C2, is actually outside the exit C2. So when you go out there, I believe it's somewhere near the Hollywood Plaza. There's like an open area where you will, when your kids go there, you'll see a lot of like teachers there, as well as teachers there as well as other students having roll call there as well. So 4:30 at the same time, Diamond Hill exit C2 for the dismissal as well. Yep. Hiking, Mount Shan Country Park as your program area during the hike. And then assembly time is 8 o'clock. Also meeting at Diamond Hill exit C2, just to make sure that your students are going to meet with your own group of group mates, so that you are actually following the hiking group, but not the Gorge Walk group. And then 4:30, same thing, same place, Diamond Hill exit 2. Kayaking, will be bringing your kids to Tai Mei Tuk area in the New Territories. 8 o'clock assembly time, Kowloon Tong exit D. 4:30 p.m. Kowloon Tong MTR as well, the exit D. That will be dismissed by then. One key important bit is, since there will be so many students around, and it's not only the Form 1 students that might be around there, there might also be some other senior form students around there as well, to identify and to make sure that every student are following the group and going to the right location. We require students to be wearing the SPCC tracksuit jacket for the assembly and roll call. So I repeat, it's just the tracksuit jacket, all right? So depending on the activity of the day, later on you will see our suggestions on the equipment, your clothing, what you should be wearing. But then that tracksuit jacket is very important, particularly for the assembly and the roll call bits. Tracksuit pants is not compulsory, but jacket is compulsory. Clear? Awesome. So don't worry about forgetting this for now, because I believe in the parents' letter from the school issuing to you, either already issued to you, or there might be a final reminder parents' letter. In that parents' letter, all these information are stated there. So you should be able to find all these, which group you are doing what, and then whatever activities you are doing, where you are assembling, where you should go, where you'll be dismissed, and all that, all these information. Or you can anytime refer to this PowerPoint after this briefing. That's good. All right, let's move on to a little bit about instructors, instructor ratios, and all that. In this year, like High Ground is actually an Australian company. We actually brought in some Australian staff as well as there will be a mixture of Australian instructors as well as local instructors. So they work together. So bringing the expertise from the local expertise on the experience, as well as the experience in Australia. They're also very familiar with St. Paul students, because a lot of them have led previous year groups in the Australia Rites of Passage program, the Form 3 ones, or last year's St. Paul's program as well. So just for your rough information, facilitators from both Australia. Some of them we've also got from South Africa. I believe there's another one from Singapore. There's one from Ireland. So it really depends which group. So there might be a mix. Your students might be interacting with different types of instructors as well. So for ratio-wise, all the land-based activities, there will be one facilitator for 15 student ratio for any land-based activities. And there will also be on-site support. And together with that as well, SPCC staff will also be on-site with the students providing extra support as well. So there will be more than enough adults along the land-based activities. As for the kayaking session, it will be 2 to 15 as the ratio, because of the kayaking and also the water elements. So we will be increasing the facilitator ratio for you as well. All our instructors, actually, before this briefing, I was actually with many of the instructors last 2 days and also this morning. We've been having some site-specific training and refresher, making sure that all the instructors are trained with high ground philosophy and also the safety standard as well. So these are some of the key notes I can provide you regarding the safety. Some safety briefings, we always do that with the students. Whenever we start a program, whenever we start an activity, whenever we arrive at a new location or a new day, there will be safety briefings. There will be boundaries briefing. So your kids will be clear and they will know where they can go, where they cannot go. Water reminders, they always need to hydrate themselves, so on and so forth. So all these are under the safety briefings every time, now and then. And throughout the process as well, like instructors will be facilitating and encouraging the students to join in the group, join in the activities as much as possible. In terms of camp coordinator, group supervision, high ground facilitators, and SPCC teachers. We will have different roles at different areas. Each of the site, there will be a high ground staff that's like kind of coordinating, as well as each group will have individual instructors supervising, high ground facilitator doing, and also SPCC teachers. Some of them will also be following through, actually hiking with your kids. They will also be doing gorge walking together with you. They might even go on a kayak with you as well. So yeah, you'll be also interacting with the teachers, which it's a very different dynamics when you're considering how you interact usually at school, but now in an outdoor setting. So value the experience, and I believe you'll enjoy it a lot as well. Communication system, we'll be having GPS tracking throughout the course. So along the tracks, if they're doing hiking, if they're doing gorge walking, we will be able to track each group where they are. And so whenever they need help or they need assistance, there might be radios across as well as GPS tracking, which they can also send signals to emergencies if needed. But also there will be phones, mobile phones, where teachers and also instructors will be having with a standby as well. First aid, everyone is first aid trained. A lot of the instructors are also wilderness first aid trained, like outdoor specific first aid trained. A lot of them work in the outdoor or really off-site wild. They don't have advanced medical access very often as well, and they are well trained for those wilderness first aid. And I myself is also wilderness first responder trained as well. So activities, boundaries briefing, I mentioned it already, and the communications channels between high ground and St. Paul's, and of course with parents. So high ground will always be working closely with St. Paul's, the TICs, the school, the coordinators, and then the school will also be working closely with the parents. So usually for most cases, unless it's very, very emergency or urgent, very likely we'll be passing through the information or acting on certain things through St. Paul's on-site teachers or the coordinators of the school. So our instructors will be managing as well as evaluating the seriousness or any potential or possible risk, as well as even a small scrapes or a small slip, even nothing major, we'll be evaluating and taking care of it so that we make sure that the risk is managed. And also we'll be updating the school, and then the school will likely be updating the parents eventually as well. Yeah. So these are some of the safety bits. If you want to learn a bit more about it, feel free to talk to the office. They can provide you with more details, or later on you'll be able to have see my email address. And feel free to email me for any urgent questions. But I'm sure the school can also answer a lot of questions, and I'm more than happy to answer more questions as well. All right. So shall we carry on? Yeah, not too overwhelming yet. Batch allocations and groupings. So as I said, have they been allocated already? Have they been cool? Awesome. So I believe all of you would have known your groupings, and then you will know which batch you are assigned to. So make sure you check that carefully, and then also check carefully which day your kid is doing what activity, where they should be going, stuff like that. So if you have any questions about the batch allocations or groupings, do let the teachers and the experiential learning office know so that they can make respective appropriate arrangements if needed. Pack lunch preparation. So about the meal arrangements, so for the 4-day program, since it's a full day thing, and definitely we need some energy throughout the day. So each day there will be allocated time where we will be offering, like letting the students to take the time enjoy their lunch in the wild, in the nature. So it's a very unique experience. However, I do have some key reminders or some suggestions how maybe you can help with your kids how to prepare for their packed lunch. I do encourage you helping them, but not doing it for them. My idea with our suggestions would be depending on the activity day. Students will have their self-prep packed lunch in the outdoors in certain areas on the timing as well. But roughly, it will be around 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, roughly. So it will be about 45 minutes or 40 minutes, depending on how long we have on that day. But roughly that the estimated time for lunch arranged. So first of all, when they arrive at the assembly location, I strongly suggest the students should have eaten their breakfast either at home or just before assembly, before roll call, get breakfast eaten first, so that at least they have the energy to stay through the morning. And then students should also be bringing and preparing their own packed lunch in a reusable container for the day. So this is the reason that we want to limit the litter out in the field, out in the outdoors, because the more plastic wraps and the litter outside, it's just easily be blown by the wind and just go in there, and our nature will not be as nice as we are arriving. So some suggestions you don't have to follow, but to make it different for every day, or not too monotonous. So you can consider preparing a sandwich day one, maybe a ham and cheese sandwich, chicken sandwich, a tuna sandwich, and then day two you can maybe prepare something like a fruits and potato salad. Day three you can get a rice ball onigiri maybe, and then day four you can get a rabbit here as well. So of course, play around. It doesn't have to be in this sequence, or you can repeat certain days as well. This is just an advice, this is just the suggestions. Depending on the dietaries as well, the student or the kids, if you know them well, much better than we do, make sure that they are bringing in food that they are allowed to eat as well. So talking about dietaries, talking about allergies, that's why I want to bring in the next point. Singapore students, they're very generous, they're very kind, I know them. And but however, when we are on the program, no food sharing is allowed, for the reason that they might not know what other kids are allergic to, what they can eat or what they can't eat. So we will kind of make sure that students should not be sharing the food with the others, no matter how generous they are or how kind they are. Okay, just a quick reminder for that. It would be nice if you can also remind your students regarding this as well. Okay. Any problems with this one? Although I can't hear you right now, but if yes, please again fill in the form, Google form, and put in the questions if you need to regarding this bit. If not, I will move on to the next slide. Into another very important bit about equipment and packing. So here are some guidelines on what equipment you should be preparing, as well as packing for each of the day. So because each day it will be a different activities, different sessions. So you might need to think about it together with your kids. I would say this is also a very good learning process for the kids to start being a bit more self-responsible for what they are doing, what they need to prepare, and so on. But then you can also help them with the final check, making sure they actually brought enough stuff. Okay. Equipment-wise, consider that a few different types. So personal equipment, these are the things that parents you can prepare with the students. Some of the equipments are more like outdoor equipment. Some of them will be provided by Higher Ground or the school. Some of them will be prepared by the students or parents. We'll get into that. And then for particular safety equipment, like helmets, like life jackets or PFDs, kayaking paddles, all these like actual safety equipment or outdoor equipment, those will be provided by Higher Ground for sure. So you don't need to worry any of those. So some equipment, basic things. First of all, let's focus on the left side of this slide. It's about clothing. PE tracksuit, SPCC tracksuit jacket particularly. So as I said earlier, it's for the assembly use mainly. is for the assembly use mainly, okay? Secondly, there are clothing that is more specific for land activities like hiking or orienteering. Water activities clothing should be slightly different as well. And then those will be something, I'll get into that. We'll see some photos as well. So you need to start thinking about, okay, so these are for the land activities, these are for water activities. Rain poncho or jacket, these are quite important as well. I'm not sure if you remember last year in November, around the same period or around the same week, there was typhoon season. And it was like heavy rain, I think red rainstorm or black even. And then schools was suspended as well. And then it happened, still happened. Like, so rain jacket is something the school and high ground, we really hope you can also get ready with. And I've also got some photos with it as well. Consider also some fleece jacket, just because getting into November, although now the winter is kind of pushing back a bit further and further, but then still it can get cool or cold, especially after some water activities. When you get out of the water, even get changed, just have t-shirts or shorts, it might be quite chilling as well. So you might want to take note of that. And then some thermal tops and leggings for the same reasons, and then some overpants as well if needed, just to, making sure that you have got some extra layers as well. Looking on the footwear side, on the right side of the slide. So most days you should be wearing something like comfortable sport shoes. I would suggest if you have something that is not if it's not for the school, the white sport shoes, it will be good for the reason that when you go to the outdoors, it will get dirty. Okay. So if you have some old trainers or other pairs that is not white in color, I would strongly suggest you to do that. Unless you don't mind your white shoes getting dirty so easily. Of course, you can still wash it afterwards. Hiking shoes or shoes with good grip. I've got some photos to show you as well. Water shoes, we need them to be closed toe and closed heel. I'll talk about it in a bit as well. And some spare shoes, which is for drying. After water sessions, you have spare shoes so that you can wear something dry to leave from the activities and then back home, and instead of wearing everything wet back home as well. Good. So let's look at some other elements. Personal essentials. Most days, I would say a small day pack will be good enough. You don't have to carry like a big backpack, camping backpack. A small day pack carrying the following will be good enough. Water bottles, you need at least 2 bottles of 750 milliliters. We will have water refill as well, but we do require students to be bringing 2 bottles of 750 milliliters. So in total, it should be 1.5 liters of water students should be bringing together with them as well. And then we'll also have water refill. Sun hat is mandatory as well. It's necessary, it's mandatory. So especially even in November, it doesn't feel so hot, but actually the UV is still there. And you don't want to get sunburned, you don't want to get you don't want to get sunburned as well. And especially there will be water sessions, the reflection from the sun back on, like from the water back to your face or your skin. It's not good as well. Sun hat, towel, whistle. Whistle is also very important for the reason that particularly for orienteering, students will be running around in Aberdeen Country Park. Whistles is for the safety, whereas our instructors will be teaching them what are the safety emergency signal that they need to learn before going on. So this is one of the many safety key points that we'll be teaching the students as well. Also on the water as well, like going on the water, there are whistle signals that will show them what is stopping, what is going, what's the emergency, what's wrapped up, things like that. Sunscreen. Small ones is good. SPF 25 or above is good enough. You don't have to get something really, really expensive or really strong. But if you've got some at home already, that's good. Insect repellents, to prepare it, I would strongly suggest you not use those stickers. I know these days there are, it's quite popular insect repellent stickers, but then it's good to use those in the city, but then in the outdoors, I would say usually after half an hour, those stickers will drop off, and then it would gone. There's no use as well, creating extra litter as well. So last but not least, the other bit, sunglasses with the cord is optional, not mandatory. Don't wear something very fancy. Don't wear a Ray-Ban here, or don't wear something like that. Just but protecting your eyes is good. But if you have the sunglasses, strong suggest you to add a cord behind it so that it won't fall off when you're in the water, or it won't fall off when you're hiking and all that as well. Pen and notebook, small one is okay. Sometimes we would write some little journals. If you are to wear a watch, make sure it's waterproof. And then you cannot wear, what's that called, Apple Watch or smart watches. That's school rules as well for most activities when we're going to the outdoors. So for particularly like smartwatch, you shouldn't be wearing it. If you are to wear a watch, it should be just a classic simple watch that there shouldn't be any extra functions of online or so on. Cameras, optional as well. Don't bring anything too fancy. Don't bring over a drone. Don't bring over a film camera. But something waterproof will be good if you want to take a few shots of what they're doing over the program. That's good as well. Waterproof bag, some water bag. That's also optional. It's not necessary because after all, when we're going onto the water, when we arrive at the area of assembly at the base, actually there are areas like they can get changed, everything, and then leave the things on land, and then they just need to bring the water bottles. They just need to maybe bring the sunscreen, and which are those things can just put on the boats. That shouldn't be an issue. And then maybe sunscreen. It might be some of the friends might have a small waterproof bag as well. They can put there as well. Mobile phones, any other digital devices, Kindle, Switch, or whatever gaming device, not allowed. All right, some photos. Clothing. These are more for land activities or hiking expeditions. Highly suggest you get something long sleeve because of the strong sun and UV. Get something that is not cotton because cotton, once you sweat a lot, then it's just like getting heavy and heavy and heavy. Hiking trousers, something waterproof or water repellent will be good because of the rain. You don't have to buy something like Gore-Tex or anything particularly for the hiking. It's just for a little bit of rain coming off, it won't just all of a sudden get wet. Same idea, don't get something cotton as well. Hiking shoes. All right, hiking shoes is something that I would suggest, particularly on the hiking days or on the gorge walking days. These are the 2 days that I would say may be good to have something like this, okay? It's not necessary to have like a boot. Sometimes like if the boot is like, that might be too high for the ankles. It provides good ankle protection, but however, if the students are not used to wearing such a boot, it would actually cause more risk to, instead of wearing a normal, like a normal hiking shoes or normal shoes with good grip. So if you don't have a hiking shoes, doesn't matter. But when you're trying to get your own shoes or sport shoes over, make sure that it's not underneath. It should have a good grip. So the deeper those curves or those calves will be, the better it will be as well. Kayaking or gorge walking. So if it's your kayaking day or gorge walking day, this is something that you can try to get. As you see the photo, something like a UV protection long sleeve t-shirts, something like a fast drying shirt will be good. Preferably not in whites or light colors, especially when you get wet, and then the more revealing as well for both boys and girls. So if you wear something, try to get something not light colors, but at the same time something that you feel comfortable in as well. Long leggings and also shorts. So for swimwear or swimsuits or swimsuits, if you want to wear inside, it's okay. It's not necessary though. There won't be any session that we suddenly take off the shirts, jump into the water or pool and then swim. There won't be anything like that. The only thing is if you want to wear some UV protecting long leggings, the school require you to wear something like a swim shorts or shorts outside, just as an extra layer. But then having the swimwear inside is also okay if you feel a bit more comfortable. Some people, they might just wear normal underwears or normal inners as well, and it's also okay. Even if you're doing kayaking, it may get wet, as long as you bring an extra pair of dry ones to change at the end of the program, that will still be okay. So it's not necessary to wear swimwear inside, but you can choose to wear. You can still wear normal ones. And if you want to wear long leggings, make sure you have something to cover. Okay? Water shoes. You can get something cheap like that, but the only thing is you need to make sure it's closed toe as well as closed heel as well. So closed toe, closed heel, that's a must. That's a must. Okay. If you're not wearing something closed toe or closed heel, you might be forbidden to join the water activities. The reason is in the water in the sea, there will be barnacles, there will be sharp cuts, and at all times, we need to have something that protect your toes and protect your heel. Okay, so something like that will be okay. Alternatively, you can also wear a pair of old sport shoes or trainers that you don't mind getting dirty or getting wet. That's also okay, especially for gorge walking, because you'll be walking kind of on the rocks and then also along the gorge. So depending on how rainy it will be during the week or just before the week, we'll be seeing how deep the water will be, but that will never be going into anywhere which is above knee deep. So it's usually ankle deep only, mainly, or maybe halfway between knee or ankle, but then you'll also be walking along near the rocks and all that. So having something that's having a sturdy grip is also good enough, or something that you don't mind getting wet, that's good enough. Okay, that's for kayaking and gorge walking. You can also get some water shoes like that as well. Nowadays there are different places, different shops you can get as well. I can give you some advice on where you can get, so you can go and have a look as well with your kids. Same idea, closed toe and closed heel. For this kind of water shoes, I would just say it's suitable for kayaking, but probably not suitable for gorge walking. So if you see my slide here on the top right corner, it says kayaking only, but then the other one, it says kayaking or gorge walking. So for kayaking, this is good. For gorge walking, because these shoes, or like something like Backhanyu, these are, the bottom is quite thin, and then it feels less comfortable. So if that makes sense. All right. Is Crocs a good option for water session? Have a think about it. We need closed toe. It's closed toe. However, it's not closed heel. All right, we can still see the part of the heel. It's kind of still having a strap behind the heel, but then we need to cover it full. So Crocs like this is not okay. It's not okay. All right, I know it's comfortable, but it's not okay. Whistle. As I said, try to get a whistle with the string if possible, so that it can put it around the neck or tie it around the backpack so that they can use it whenever they need to. It doesn't have to be something like that. You can also get something very cheap from a stationery shop, $10 maybe, or something like that. That will be good. For orienteering, all right, going to orienteering, making sure that you get the SPCC tracksuit. PE uniform is not necessary, but then if you feel like that week it's very hot still in November, and then having that tracksuit jacket is very hot for you, at least you have the PE uniform top. So something to show the school badge or school logo to let your teachers recognize your kids, so that they know, okay, this kid is for the Form 1 student. Because the TRTs will be rotating. It might be a teacher following your group that might not know you at school yet. So that's important for them to recognize you through that. Comfortable sport shoes with good grips. I mentioned it already. White shoes are okay, but try not to if you don't want to get dirty. Raincoat, rain poncho, something like that. It will be good. I would strongly suggest you not to use it, disposable or one-off one, for the reason that it's actually once you get to the hiking under the rain, the branches or the sticks just scratch it and it will break right away, to be honest. So getting something a bit sturdier will be good. So this kind of poncho is good for the reason that it actually covers your whole body, and they also cover your backpack as well, so you don't need to get any extra backpack cover even. All right, so that's all about equipment. I hope I've provided you a good comprehensive overview of what equipment you should be bringing for the different days, as well as some photos for you to have a clear picture of what each of the items are. I believe the Experiential Learning Office of the school has also shared with you an equipment list. So be sure to follow through that equipment list so that they will be when you're preparing with your kids about it, that will be you will be bringing everything as well. So jumping into the very final bit for parents' involvement and some next steps, some quick reminders, and then some Q&As. Parents' letter, reply slip, I believe most of it has been distributed as well as filled in, but if there's still some missing replies, make sure that you respond to the Yale office or the school, making sure you sign all the documents before the program. There is a High Ground medical and registration form. I believe 99% of you have already filled it in. The day that I was checking in the other day. But if you haven't filled in that form, please make sure you fill it in within today or within the coming 1 or 2 days as well. Okay. Equipment preparation, there's quite a bit to look at. I would suggest you to go and visit the shops earlier. In Hong Kong, there are quite a few different shops, like classic ones, not promotion, don't work with them. But Decathlon is the good place to start with, I would say. They offer some cheap and reasonable priced equipment at the same time. Actually, the quality is quite good, especially for beginners. There are some other outdoor shops in Hong Kong, in Causeway Bay, in Mong Kok, and in New Territories. There are some as well, but there will be quite a few different equipment shops. And if you need extra advice on where to get certain things, please call the Yale office or ask the teachers. But call the Yale office. Miss Cadillo and Miss Carey, you will be able to answer you and give you more information on that as well. Proper expectation and goal setting. This will be quite a new and different experience for your kids, and preparing them, making sure that they are ready for the program is very important. Some of them might not be familiar, or they feel like outdoors is outside of the comfort zone, like far outside the comfort zone. So having a bit of, even going on a small track or small walk over the weekend, have a trial, have something small for them to get ready for it. That will be good. If you are buying a new pair of hiking shoes, I strongly suggest you to wear it a few times first. Try it out so that it softens the cushion around the ankle bit, and then your students will like it, and wear it a bit more comfortably. These will be good. And then goal setting, think about what they want to achieve over the 4 days. I'll also be having another student briefing with them next Monday. Yes, next Monday. And then so we'll talk a little bit about it. We will probably not go into this detail. This is more detailed than the student briefing, for the reason that we really want parents to know exactly what's happening for the program, what to be prepared, so on and so forth. And hopefully we'll be working with your kids to get ready for the program. So that's pretty much what I would like to share with you today. And before jumping into the Q&A sessions, is there anything the teachers or Mr. Hong you would like to add in for now, while we are also waiting for some more questions to come in?
I think very clear and detailed briefing from us. But regarding those activities, perhaps we can elaborate a bit, particularly for those who do not know how to swim. In kayaking, any safety measure that, of course, we will provide life jacket. Any advice for those who
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let me have a look.
Yeah.
So regarding swimming abilities, first of all, don't worry about your kids not being able to swim or not knowing how to swim properly yet. For all water activities, for kayaking, we provide a proper PFD, personal floating device, or we call it life jacket as well. So basically, it will help students float on the water without an issue as well. All students actually, or all the years over the last 10, 15 years that was leading in the outdoors, many students or many groups, students, adults, they don't know how to swim. They perfectly kayak, no problem, no issues. They kayak really well as well. So don't worry about it. And even if there is, students, they might, a wave come over, or when they're having so much fun, getting too excited, trying to look for some sea creatures or sea starfish, so on, and then they lean on one side, and then all of a sudden, both of partners fall in the water. That's still okay. First of all, they will float. Second of all, our instructors will also be nearby to assist them, helping them and showing them how to get back onto the boat safely, and then they'll also usually carry on as well. To be honest, in the past, some students actually, they enjoy being in the water, to explore the water. They might intentionally jump into the water as well and try to float and enjoy that bit. Really depends on how cold the water is by then. Last year was still okay, but we'll see. But safety-wise, don't worry about it. Over the years, we have a lot of students who don't know how to swim, but they do kayaking perfectly fine.
Yeah. Perhaps we can take a look on some questions.
Yeah, sure.
May I clarify a bit about the use of mobile phone? Of course, Osbert mentioned that we suggest that there's no mobile phone during the activity. But of course, he or she, a student, are allowed to take the mobile phone during, going to the assembly point or after the activity. Yeah. Of course, they can use it.
Yeah. So regarding mobile phones usage, that's a very good question. There are two ways of doing it. So one way is if you are bringing your students or bringing your kids directly to the assembly point, that's no problem, and then you're fetching them from the activity, from the dismissal location as well, and that's no problem. Second approach would be, I believe the school is also allowing the students actually to bring the phone, but the phone is mainly, not mainly, but the phone is solely used for contacting the parents once they arrive at the assembly point, informing the parents that, Mom and Dad, I'm safe here, I see the group here, I'm getting onto the bus now, it's all good. Once they get onto the bus, they shouldn't be using the phone anymore. All right. Our teachers will be looking at that. Will be supervising that. The only reason is outdoor education or outdoor program. The aim or the objectives is to get away from technology, get away from technology, and that's why the less distraction we have, the better the outcomes would be. Because I'm sure the students will eventually appreciate the idea of not having the screen time during the day and enjoy the outdoors. So yes, students, if they need to, bring a mobile phone for contacting at the beginning or at the end of the program, meeting and dismissing, that's okay. But during the day, during the program, no usage at all. All right, especially if they're going out on the kayaking, we will just ask them to keep it on land. We'll have the teachers or some of the staff to kind of look after the belongings over there, and then so at least they won't drop in the water and break their phone as well. So some parents are asking about kayaking or gorge walking. Should they be wearing gloves? Okay, so that's a good suggestion. That's a good choice. We don't necessarily need to, but if you wish, you can also get some gloves. It will help a bit with the grip of the paddle, or when you're doing gorge walking or a little bit of height, where it might be a little bit of supporting with 3-point contact on some slopier area. gloves will be a good choice as well. Just don't wear those winter gloves. That's kind of sports gloves, cycling gloves. Those synthetic ones will be good. They can change clothes after water activities. So parents is asking about getting changed after water activities. Yes, can, and you should. I mean, the student should. So in the equipment list, I believe the ER office, when they deliver it, there's a part saying spare clothes for changing as well. So particularly on water days. So make sure that your kids bring along an extra set of clothes so that they can get changed after the water sessions. Do students need to bring cash or Octopus card? So as long as they can find a way to the assembly point and dismissal point, that's okay. But then once they join the group, then from there, all the logistics, all the bus coach would have been already arranged and included. So you don't need to worry about traveling from the Central Pier number 9 to the activity sites and back and forth. The only thing is they might need the money to travel just from home to the assembly point and from dismissal point back home.
Regarding those assembly points, one of you mentioned should they be met outside exit or inside exit of MTR? It should be outside, right?
Yes. So as I mentioned, I believe there are 2 particular MTR stations where some of the activities will be assembling. So including a Diamond Hill MTR station, as well as the Kowloon Tong exit D area. So for these 2, the schools have been doing site visits, and also over the years, it has been the arrangement where we ensure the safety and also enough space to accommodate that big group of students. We have, not only do we have a few groups of students over there assembling, as well as some other schools around as well. So outside the MTR station, actually Diamond Hill outside, Diamond Hill C2 exit is actually an open ground just underneath the Hollywood Plaza, Hollywood Guangchang, the open area. So that area is actually quite secured and is also a bit sheltered as well. So they will be gathering there together and then before walking to catch the bus. Underneath in the Diamond Hill downstairs, they can wait for the friends. They can stay there until kind of just 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the assembly time. Come up, that's good. But then we don't want all the students to be stuck in the MTR station, or else the school will be in trouble, blocking all the MTR stations, like Kowloon Tong or Diamond Hill. Yeah.
For the bad weather arrangement?
Yeah, so bad weather arrangement, depending on the actual bad weather. So I believe in the parents' letter it already mentioned about amber rainstorm, red rainstorm, and black rainstorm, and also the typhoon signals. So please refer to the list of the parents.
Yeah.
Now. Do you have it now?
Yeah. Actually, we follow the EDB.
Yeah. So that's actually so just to a quick recap. If it is the red rainstorm or black rainstorm, or the typhoon signal number 1 or above, is hoisted 3 hours before the assembly time. So usually the assembly time is about 8 o'clock to 8:15. So at about 5 o'clock or 5:15, depending on the day, roughly, that would be the kind of the core time. If at 5 o'clock or 5:15, it's like red rainstorm, black rainstorm, typhoon signal number 1, then that day of the program will have to be cancelled. Considering we're going to the outdoors, we want to ensure the safety of it. And then if the activity has already started, and then suddenly we realize that weather is coming, then we will be making adjustment and close communication with the school to make a quick change of the program. There might be a need we exit from where we are, and then we'll be leaving the activity area earlier as well. So actually, High Ground and St. Paul's, we are working closely in monitoring the activity, not just through the Hong Kong Observatory website, but also with other observatory weather forecasts websites as well, the data, and then we are closely monitoring those. And then we'll be making adjustment to the plan, and then the school will be informing the parents for any updated schedule or updated plan for it. Just for your information, for example, last year, as I mentioned, there was a typhoon hitting actually during the program or the day before the program, and then we did make some arrangements to the program's locations, and then just do a little bit of swapping. But then it's more like really day by like when it comes to that day or comes to that week, then we'll let you know, and we don't want to overwhelm you with information that's not happening yet. But for the general idea, red, black, typhoon signal number 1, these are the 3 main things you need to pay attention to. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so
one more last question, this one.
yeah, sure. So parents asking about so students might be having menstruation period or need. Can they, or are they still needed? Are they still required to join the water activities? So we'll be working with the school. Well, actually, we have female instructors as well throughout the year. They work pretty much 300 days a year in the outdoors. They know the way of handling that in a clean and neat way. We will, because there's a kayaking session, it actually won't necessarily get wet in total, incomplete. What I would suggest is do let your group instructor knows, or do let the group teachers knows beforehand if it is the period time for your students, for your kids. They will be giving you or giving her extra attention, extra support to make sure that they have got enough like clean and cleaning time, as well as extra paddings and all that as well. And of course, do prepare the pets as well for your students if it happens to be that period or menstruation period as well during that time. Yeah. These are the main questions.
Yes, these are the main questions. And for our today's briefing, I think the PowerPoint as well as the video recording will be uploaded. So if parents like to look at it again, just feel free to do so. And of course, for the what to bring, I mean, the list, as mentioned by Osbert, there should be also a list already provided in student and parent handbooks. So parents can take a look on it, especially those use of electronic devices and mobile phone. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much from us today. Thank you so much for your time. Apologize that we have 5 minutes extended and delayed, but if you have any more questions regarding the program, do feel free to contact contact the school experiential learning office, or if you have any more like personal or individual cases that you would like to discuss particularly with us directly, feel free to email it, and you see my email address there as well. And I'm Osbert. I've also got a colleague as well. Her name is Dakota. She is the international program manager as well, and she's actually also in Hong Kong. But you can email any of us, each of us. That's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And for any, we'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.